Let's get a bit more on this. The Global Affairs Analyst Michael Bociurkiw joins me now from Port Moresby in Papua New Guinea. Michael, thanks very much for joining us. I mean, is the message here that the US, which has been so strong on this point, hasn't it, is losing its purchase among its allies now?
Oh, absolutely, David. I mean, the decision by GCHQ to say that Huawei can be managed and that this will feed into the supply chain decision by the UK government whether to allow Huawei into 5G is a very, very big blow to the United States. Now, it has to be said, over the past less than 24 hours, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has sent out yet another threat to allies, saying that if you dare integrate Huawei into your 5G networks, you will no longer be a friend of the United States. And what he said was that, they won't co-locate embassies or military bases. So if you're Canada, the United Kingdom, and Germany, you might be saying to yourself right now, with friends like that, who needs enemies? Right.
Well, and the Germans are making a point, aren't they? I think we've heard from the British as well, to say Huawei would not in any case have the facility simply to infiltrate our security system.
Well, that's the public line by Huawei, by China. They say that they need the business. And I can tell you they're intensely interested in being one of the core developers setting the standards of the 5G network, because they didn't have success with 4G. But having said that, we must remember that 2017 national security law in China that does compel Chinese companies to adhere to Chinese national security laws, and that includes actually providing the Chinese government with intelligence if required. So I can't blame the United States and others for the nervousness, but Huawei is sticking to its line that we're not a threat. Right.
I mean, but if we want a sense of fracturing, and very briefly I have to ask you, Michael, you're in Port Moresby, you're in Papua New Guinea. They are working with Huawei, I understand, so it's going to happen in some parts of the world.
It will. I mean, you'll remember right after APEC here, there was that big tussle between the U.S. and allies and, the other side about whether to allow Huawei to develop the internet network here. And actually, Papua New Guinea, which depends a lot on Chinese investment, there's a big Chinese crane behind me, has decided to stick with them, even though there's that threat from the United States. So you're going to see a lot of other countries saying, no, we're going with Huawei despite the threats from the U.S.
We'll see how this